Hallelujah Mountains are one of the most stunning scenes in Avatar. To see such a place in real life would be an unforgettable experience. But what if I told you, stepping foot in this mountain range would most definitely tear you apart and turn your body to dust? Today we will be going through how do the Hallelujah Mountains float? Could they exist on Earth? And how their existence would threaten life on our planet. In the film Avatar, Pandora is in divine paradise with its vast oceans that stretch to the horizon and the forests that tower hundreds of meters into the air. At night, the plant life illuminates the forest floor into an alluring light show. But this beautiful utopia isn't as safe as it seems. The planet is dwarfed by the enormous gas giant that dominates Pandora's night sky. It's so large it could easily fit Pandora inside of it, over 1,000 times over. Just like Jupiter, this planet's massive size means it acts as its own solar system. Holding 14 moons within its grasp, its powerful gravitational pull creates devastating tidal forces on its moons that tear up the ground and launch rocks miles into the air. Imagine if Earth was placed here today, instead of slow changes to the seas, devastating earthquakes would tear across our landscape. The impact of mountains crashing back into Earth would definitely send shockwaves around the world. Even hundreds of miles away buildings would collapse and many people would perish. This is what caused the creation of the Pandora's floating islands. However, there's a bit more to it than simply firing rocks into the sky. Entering this floating minefield, you would experience all of electronic devices going crazy. The strong magnetic vortex in the area would fry anything metal you had on you, so be sure not to bring your iPhone next time you visit Pandora. But how do these magnetic fields catch mountains in midair? The mountains floating high above Pandora's surface are made of a substance, unobtainium. Unobtainium is a special element that floats in the air as soon as it enters the powerful magnetic vortex of the Hallelujah Mountains. As if by magic, this magnetic field, thousands of times more powerful than the Earth's, holds the mountains up in the sky. But if we take a trip 4.3 light years back home to Earth, could an entire ecosystem really soar in the clouds? It's all beginning to sound like it might just be possible after all. For better or worse, unobtainium only exists in the Avatar universe, but that doesn't mean it isn't possible. We may not already be able to look up and see the Himalayas floating miles above us, but we are closer than you think. On Earth, our next best replacement is an element with similar special abilities to float, brought to us in space rocks that rained down onto our planet millions of years ago. We have magnetite, the baby brother of unobtainium. Besides being millions of times weaker than unobtainium, magnetite has one key groundbreaking factor. It only unlocks its special floating properties when it's frozen to over twice the coldest temperature ever experienced on Earth. To reach these shivering temperatures, we would need more energy than all of the nuclear bombs in the world. Imagine we replaced all of the floating mountains in Avatar with a glass of water. We would still need more energy than 250 Hiroshima atomic bombs to cool it, enough power to cause a mass extinction and leave Earth a barren, lifeless environment. But let's just say you could open your door to a spectacular sight of the Hallelujah Mountains. Would you really want a floating mountain range overhead? An ancient crater in Arizona tells the story of a 50-meter-wide meteorite slamming into Earth, creating an impact zone of over 1 kilometer in width. If this meteorite was to hit modern-day London, most of the city would either be completely leveled or engulfed in flames. Miles around windows would shatter, and buildings collapse to dust as the shockwaves rattled the Earth. The Chicxulub meteor, at 10 kilometers wide, was enough to end the dinosaurs' reign entirely. The impact tore a 200-kilometer-wide hole in the Earth and ended the life of almost everything on the planet. So much of the ground was launched into the sky that it blocked out the sun, sending Earth into a long, freezing night deprived of life. But hold up. Let's just say we weren't about to wipe out humanity. There's a few things that Avatar conveniently left out that would turn this tropical paradise into an infernal abyss. If you were unfortunate enough to wander amongst these floating mountains, you'd soon start to feel something was off. At first, you would begin to feel violent vibrations throughout your entire body. As you continued, your fate would be sealed as your body would begin to vaporize and tear up from the inside out. The magnetic field, strong enough to hold up the mountains in the sky, would not only be able to rip apart anything metal, but tear the iron from your blood, vaporizing your body instantly. It's safe to say even the most adaptable creatures wouldn't survive a second in the Hallelujah Mountains. So potentially civilization-ending floating asteroids and magnetic fields strong enough to vaporize your body may not be the best plan, but let me know what you think in the comments. If you're as interested as I am in debunking the science behind your favorite fictional stories, be sure to stick around for another Is It Possible?